Alright, so this is going to be another supplement with focus on distribution. Alright, so um, obviously distribution, I'm taking a look at up here. So what Wyckoff says is over here you have the application of hypodermics. So it's like let me put a different color. Uh, hy, oops, hypodermics. So here is the application of hypodermics. Okay. What is hypodermics? Hypodermics is a sharp acceleration already at the top. You're already at a top, and there's sharp acceleration of both price and volume. Now, what is this called today? It's called parabolic movement. Alright, so you're going to hear a lot of folks talk about, price went parabolic. Okay, the same thing. It means at the top, the price starts accelerating and volume increases heavily. It's probably going to be comparative or the most heaviest volume there is in the trend. So what's important about such conditions is that smart money is not going to buy when prices are that high. So they withdraw their support of the market, and other traders also will note these conditions of a market going parabolic, and they will also withdraw support. Alright, so now over here is where you have your climax. You have your climax right there. You have, then after that, you have your change of behavior. Alright, so what does that mean? You have your climax, which is obviously the new high, heavy volume. It usually has big range as well, wide spread or range as well. And after that, you have a bar that confirms the climax in terms of a bearish indication, and that is in the form of a change of behavior here with a lower high, lower low, lower close. This change of behavior is the biggest volume, biggest reaction volume in the entire trend. That is why it is a change of behavior. Okay. So given you have hypodynamic or whatever, you have parabolic movement, hypodermics with a climax at the top followed by a change of behavior with the heaviest down volume. What that means is that smart money is absorbing the buyers. So they sold it on the way up on this up bar and sold it on the way down on this down bar. And what I mean by that is they're distributing up here and here. After that, the notable point here is, this is a weak rally right here, but the notable bar is this. That's what you call like the backbreaker that broke the stride of the uptrend. Now, however you want to do this, there's many ways to see this. If you draw a trend line, you can see it very clean, like something like that. Something like that, or if you're drawing a trend line like from something like that. It doesn't matter how you draw it, just understand that that's the bar that broke the back of the trend right there, with a climax, with a COB, and acceleration, volume with hypodermics and all that. After that, what's important here is when price goes to this level, shorts exit for the time being, and longs are going to buy. Why? because it is at a support level. Okay. Now the thing is, like, when price came to a support level, you had high volume, which went from technical weakness to technical strength, but all it did was bounce the market up to the halfway back point. So this right here is what he's going to be shorting. He's going to short right there on the low volume rally to the halfway back point. Now, why does he do this? One, it means that the buyers are exhausted, because that's what the low volume rally means. It means the buyers are exhausted. Alright, and two, since it's a low volume rally, it's purely a technical rally. Okay, after heavy selling. So let me put this up here somewhere. Okay, so he's going to short the low volume rally because of these two reasons, and of course everything in the background. So he's going to short here. Just draw a line. Where's the line? Anyway, right there. So you can see about the halfway back point. He has that area marked, the halfway back point, because, well, that's what he's looking for. He's looking for a retracement or a bulge, and he's ready to short that area. And this is actually a second short. The first short is here, right here. Why? He's shorting with smart money, who is taking positions. That's the first short. Okay, where is that? That is right here. That is right here in that bar. Maybe I didn't do it right. Okay, so I think it's right after the change of behavior, because smart money selling on the way up here and on the way down, so it's in the change of behavior. He says it's on, I think, on the 27th, but I can't read the bottom over here. Anyway, the logic of it is what matters, and that is he's shorting with the smart money. The smart money selling, so is he. How do you know they're selling? They sold on the way up, they sold on the way down. Both have very high volume. And what he's doing is, why it has high volume is they're filling up all the buyers. So the short is over there, and the short is over here as well. Like right on that bar, near the halfway back point, testing that trend breaker bar. So now what happens is he really likes this lower low right here. Okay, that lower low is part of the confirmation, and he really likes this lower low. Okay, but what cements everything is the lower high. But before I get to the lower high, the other indication that's extremely important, where is this? Is this sudden increase in volume, which occurred right here. He calls this climactic, but you could call it climax or F for reward, up to you. But the point is that this is a climactic bar. It is confirmed by the following two bars. Okay, so it is confirmed by the following two bars. Usually I like, one bar, but sometimes you don't get one bar confirmation. It takes two. Okay, so those two bar. Shit. I can't really. Let's see. x-axis, plus confirmation 2 bars. Okay, now what is the confirmation? The climax and the confirmation, you have your climax is this bar right here on heavy volume. After that you have 2 bar confirmation. What did the 2 bars tell you? Lack of progress, lack of upside progress after all that volume. The lack of upside progress after all that volume means that the climax is confirmed. Okay, the other thing that he really likes is the lower high. The lower high at that point. So it has all that volume, but it makes a lower high. Okay, so that is something else that he really likes, and he actually calls that final confirmation. And where's my arrow? And finally, he has a breakout here. Alright, and remember that breakout is on increasing volume. Okay, the breakout occurred on the biggest volume in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sessions. Alright, now also you want to, what he did was he compared the volume here, let's say about, to the February rise. So he's looking at this volume. I'm trying to find the, one second. Okay. He's looking at this volume and he says it's lower than the February volume. So the February volume is over here. The rise in the February volume is bigger than the rise in the March volume. So he's comparing rally to rally. Understand? So he's comparing the flag portion, if you will, to the prior rally, and saying that, hey, this volume is low volume. That confirms that the buyers have exhausted themselves on the hypodermic maneuver, and that this is a technical rally that's just going to a halfway back point, followed by the lower low, which he really likes, followed by a rally that makes a lower high, has a climax bar. Today it would be an effort reward bar because, I don't know, because the range is not that big, it's a small range, and that climax bar is confirmed by the following 2 bars, which show a lack of upside progress, and followed by a breakdown. So these are all the indications, and when you put them together, they give you the turn. Now, all of this cannot be done through an indicator. The indicator cannot get all of the variants of, hypodermics, a climax bar, change of behavior, break of support, and then, halfway back, a lower low, lower high. Most indicators can only pick up certain things. Like they'll pick up the lower low or lower high. They might just pick up 1 or 2 indications, but the whole picture cannot be done through an indicator. So this is why it requires judgment to be able to say, yeah, this is hypodermic because the acceleration of this up wave is bigger than the acceleration of any other up wave. The acceleration or speed, just using a trend line is quite high. Then looking at the climax bar and the change of behavior bar together, and understanding that, smart money wants to sell at the highest price possible, and this acceleration affords them that opportunity to sell at very high prices on the way up and on the way down, and that this bar is a change of behavior bar because it has the most volume in the entire trend on the reaction. And then after that, seeing the backbreaker bar, seeing the range and understanding that this is a clean break of this area, and these guys up here, the public, is trapped. So the chances of having a high volume area up there and price going back to that area is very slim. Why? Because the public would get out even, and what that means is that smart money would lose money. Because right now they've sold here and prices down here, so they're in a profit, right? So the only reason they're going to bounce it is to sell more without letting the public out, because if the public comes out, they have to take the other side, or someone is to be like taking the other side, and they're going to lose their profit from the move that went down in which they already made money. So this is profit for them, and the rally cannot go up that much because you have to rally it just enough to sell more and keep your profits on the short side. So rally, keep your profit on the short side, bring it down. One more rally, sell some more, as evidence in the climax bar where they offloaded more. Lack of progress, and then this area is basically cleaned out after multiple attempts to go up here and here, and then breaking it to go to lower levels. So this is the case study of distribution. He took the short position on the halfway back, but this is not a normal halfway back. Like, what you'll see is people just buying the 50% or 68% retracement. This has nothing to do with that. He's looking for a halfway back and to sell into it because of the high volume here, because public is trapped here, and the chances of it going up that high are nil, because there's a hypodermic maneuver already in the background, because there's a backbreaker bar with wide spread and good volume, heavy selling volume, and it's actually a break, the initial break. So all of those conditions together, that is why he's taking it against this area. Alright, it's not just there's a rally and there's a pullback at 50% sell. There is distribution in the background, there's climaxes in the background, there's a change of behavior in the background, there is a big break in the background, there is a low volume rally, and on that low volume rally, it's telling you that it's a technical rally, and it's going against that area, and that's why he's taking the short at that, around that 50% retracement. Alright, so this is a supplement on the study of distribution. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye.